It might seem strange maybe to my fellow colleagues that somebody that doesn't consume alcohol would be so supportive of this bill. And basically, except for the odd time for medicinal purposes, I don't consume alcohol. And basically, a lot of it is because I spend most of my life on the road driving a vehicle. And no longer, in my view, can you just go and have a drink and drive. The laws have become so tight. But I suppose every so often, something happens which ignites a spark. And here I think what Deputy Kelly has done is highly significant. And in my view, if nurtured properly and supported properly, could become a huge factor, not alone in employment, but as a tourism product as well. In the run-up to the support for this bill, I visited one brewery in County Roscommon, Richardson Ballinlaw, and it was probably one of the most fascinating journeys I made in my constituency for some time, for a number of reasons. It's just amazing to go into these small breweries and see how they operate. That's number one. Number two, the small number of people who work there are so enthusiastic, and I want to welcome people from the various breweries from around the country, but they're so enthusiastic. Three, what they're looking for here isn't open-ended hours to serve beer, and I think the bill is very tight, and well done to Deputy Kelly in terms of they're only selling their own products on the premises. But they're so excited if this could become part of the reality of being able to sell the products, maybe have a cup of coffee on the product, and I honestly believe that they will become a major focus of tourism attractions. And in most counties now there are one or two, maybe more breweries, and they all seem to be working quite successfully. Deputy Kelly mentioned 439 jobs already in the country, in the 26 counties, in terms of employment from these small breweries. It's quite a significant figure. If any of us found out in our constituency tomorrow that some employer was going to come in and create between 400 and 500 jobs, there would be a big kid meal of fortune. That's fantastic. But here is the point. This brewing business is very much in its infancy. And I believe within a few years, with the proper support from the state for this type of development, I think those figures could actually go to 1,500, 2,000. I think it can become a significant employer. I also believe that they won't do any damage to the pubs. And in actual fact, I know a number of pubs that are, distributing and selling, or I should say selling, but they're selling the beers, those craft beers, in their pubs. So I don't think there's going to be any conflict there, and there's going to be no difficulty once they're closing at a certain time in the evening. There's an explosion of those breweries right across the country now. And I also think in terms of support, and I want to acknowledge there what Deputy Lahart said in relation to Brian Cowan and what he did for the business back in 2005. But now there's no reason why all of those breweries can't flourish, because we have our Leos in every county, we have our mentoring there through Leos, we have supports that really were never there. And the enthusiasm that is coming from the people who are running those little breweries, it gives you a very good, a feel-good factor. And I think the bill is just removing a barrier that is a significant barrier at the moment that does need to be taken away. So I'll conclude by saying I think it's a great idea. I admire the people who are championing it. I have to also admire the way that you have gone to your TDs and not lobbied, but just, let us know exactly what's going on, what's happening on premises. And for anybody who hasn't been to one of these small breweries, I would say to you, go. Take in the enthusiasm. Listen to the people. And one of those things when I visited Richard's brewery in Ballinlaw in Roscommon was, he took me into this little cold room and he says, look, 3 pallets of that beer going to America. That is my first export lot. And he was so excited about that. And you know, in his brewery, of course, Roscommon people were always known as the sheep stealers. I don't ever accept that title. But actually, one of his craft beers is entitled the Sheep Stealers. But I don't mind, as long as he sells enough bottles of Sheep Stealers and creates his little tourism hub and creates more employment, I will be happy, and I'm very, very supportive, as are my party, of this bill from Deputy Kelly.
Thank you, Deputy Murphy.